Welcome to the September 11th, 2025 Revere Cultural Council meeting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will roll call. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Calling our meeting to order at 6:01. We'll begin with a roll call. Rocky Graziano, Chair.
Jaime Jimenez, Vice Chair.
Debbie West.
Joe Hafetz.
Lark Logan.
So friends out there that might be watching, we have Lark joining us virtually via Zoom. There she is. Hi, Lark. See myself in two spots. I'm gonna be real distracted. So friends out there in TV land, we don't have anyone here in the gallery, so I want to stop off and say that our next couple of meetings, if you are planning a project and you have questions or you would like to come and provide us with more information, we really encourage attendance at those events or those meetings. We will publicize them on the Instagram and Facebook page as well. They are also going to be on the Revere calendar so people can find that information. But if you have questions, as you start to get into that process, please come see us. We would love to see you. We do have a relatively short agenda today. I think a lot of it might be discussion points and updates. So I'll review the agenda and then we'll open it up for discussions. The first on our list is to review the cycle dates and grant allocation. Discuss additional plans to get the word out in person and virtually. A lot of great work has been done by the council, so you'll hear from members who have done different things to get the word out to different people. We'll review attended events, kind of similar but different agenda item that people have gone to and any events that are coming up. We do have quite a few events going on in the city this weekend and the next couple of weeks to get some more word out, which will be great. I think we might want to discuss schedule tabling with groups and liaison. I know, Jaime, you've been really kind of front with that, so we can talk through that. And then if we have any new business, we can do that. If we're following the Robert's Rules of Order, the first thing I have to do is have everybody accept the minutes from the meeting. I know Debbie sent those out last. So are there any questions by anybody on the board regarding the minutes that were sent out from last month's meeting? So I need a motion for someone to accept the minutes.
Motion presented to accept the minutes from the August 11th meeting.
Second.
All in favor of passing the minutes?
In favor.
Lark has voted yes virtually. Jaime?
Yes.
We're good. Love doing that. All right. So really, I think everyone on this council has these dates committed to memory. I'm really doing this for the benefit of all of you, so that you have a reminder of what is coming up. So the applications for the grants have opened on September 2nd, so last week. We did have a push on social media. We did have a preview of that, so we have seen some activity, and we'll talk through what we've seen come through so far from a high-level perspective. There was an info session on September 9th, hosted by the Mass Cultural Council for potential new grant applicants. That video, if you did not attend the live session, will be uploaded to the Mass Cultural Council YouTube page. When it is uploaded, I will share it on our Instagram page. So for those of you out there that are watching this virtually or may see this meeting later on, please go to the Revere MA Cultural Council Instagram page. You'll find a link tree to all the different links that you would need to access to apply for your grant. And then also I'll add the video for that as well, so people can do it. The training sessions have been really helpful, friends. So if you can take some time to watch that, it will help you present a better presentation to us, so that when we're determining which groups and which awards we'll be giving, you can present your project in the best light. So for those of you out there, the application deadline is October 16th, 2025. So we have a little bit more than a month from today to get that in. And then we have to make decisions on those applications and notify everyone and submit our final report on January 16th, 2026. So once again, those are just really for the benefit of all of you. I think everyone on the council is pretty clear on that. Any questions or any other further color that anyone would like to provide about the grant cycle dates? I'm looking at Lark, who's
No
nodding.
questions.
No, no questions. Excellent. All right, next order of business. So I'm actually going to switch the order of our agenda and talk through the events that people have attended, and then we'll talk through like what our additional communications plan will be for the course of the next month. So Jaime, I'm going to put you on the spot first because I know that you have been at a couple of events. If you'd like to report back on that and anything you learned or anything you'd like to tell us, we'll start off with you.
Thank you, Rocky. So I've attended a couple of events. The Riviera Resource event last week. I was there. We got some flyers put together and dropped off those flyers with the community liaisons team for the city of Riviera. So those are available as well through that office. I will be attending tomorrow the Riviera Beach Farmers Market. So I will be there tomorrow. And then there is an event on Saturday, which is it's an art festival at Riviera Beach, so I will be there as well.
Thank you, Jaime, for being so present in the community. My goal, after I get my tires done, is to come to the Riviera Beach Art Festival on Saturday, provided that's quick. Debbie, I know you've done some things, and Joe, you've done some things. We'll start with Debbie first, and then we'll go to Joe.
I've dropped off, emailed flyers to the superintendent of schools and all the principals and the fine arts director. I've dropped some off at the library in both languages as well.
Thank you. And Joe, I know you've been very busy as well. Do you want to report back on what you've done?
I have contacted the mayor's office directly because I was looking for the Chamber of Commerce to look where artists could perform / hang their artworks, if we had any existing thing. I was unable to reach the Chamber of Commerce. That line, for some reason, is non-existent, but I am still trying to reach them. The mayor's office gave me a little bit of status, and he continued to tell me about the development of the Beachmont Cultural Center, which has been in the works for a long time. Councilman McKenna has been working very passionately to develop that. So the fire station is going to be developed, not the new fire station, the old fire station is going to be developed into a cultural center at some time. They are also looking to put some sort of cultural venue at the Suffolk Downs project. Nobody has claimed ownership for that. They have the concerts at Suffolk, but they realize that there is a need for some sort of venue to replace the movie theaters that used to be in Revere.
Thank you so much, Joe. Lark, is there anything that you want to add from your virtual station? Lark, you are muted.
I had to find the microphone, I'm
It's
sorry.
all, well, you know what? At least we're making it work, aren't we? We got you on here, so that's important.
I'll know, but I'll be back the first week in October. I was wondering, this cultural center that Joe is talking about, that the fire station's going to turn into, would that be able to accommodate a small community theater?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, because that's really what I love, along with the music. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe Lark, we could produce a little free Shakespeare there, because that's always, I love royalty free, right? If we can get that going. So I'm really grateful, team, that I think that everyone has made a concerted effort, very different. We've taken different approaches this year than we maybe have in years past. I can't speak to prior to last year because I wasn't on the council, but I think every member of this group has done a very great job of presenting it in whatever way that makes the most sense. So I want to thank you as chair. You're making that much easier for us. Those of you out there that are listening, We do have some applications in. We're not going to review them because that wouldn't be fair. We're going to wait till they go in, but we are seeing some applications in early, which I think might be a little bit different because we have done more promotion. So thank you all for doing that. The outreach is working. So if you all out there have any other additional leads or questions, you can feel free to message us directly. My email address is present. I generally will get back to you within 24 hours. And then, or DM us on the Instagram page or on the Facebook page. That way we can communicate with you that way, because I know some individuals prefer that method of communication a little bit better. But we are pretty active at looking at that. So we are trying to increase our social media presence for the future. So there are a few events that are coming up this weekend and in the next couple of weeks that we will likely have a presence at to be able to pass out flyers in both English and Spanish. So again, we've updated the ways in which we're communicating. Other ways, we've now emailed all the principals. We've dropped flyers off at the libraries and the cultural centers. We are attending events. What other activities do we think we want to employ over the course of the next 6 weeks to try to get the word out to as many new people as possible, as that is one of the priorities of the council, is to reach some newer grant applicants or first-time grant applicants to try to fund some of those projects. So I'll open the floor to members of the council for any ideas.
Well, the first thing is that we are blind, and that art and culture are embraced by all members of the community, whether you're old, whether you're young, whether you're of one nationality, whether you're another nationality. We exist on multiple things, so nobody is excluded from the great picture. What we see in Revere, we see some artists that are in the senior citizens, in the senior homes. We do welcome your art. We do welcome your proposals. High school people, we know that you're aspiring artists. We know that you're going to have an art show at your high school, but we do welcome your proposals as well. You have a voice in this community. Anybody in between who's just moved to Revere and would like to reach out to us, we do welcome your artwork, your proposal, your culture, if you feel that it's underrepresented. And your culture is not just represented one day a year. As a kind of a touristy thing. It could be an annual event that you decide to throw, or you can expand it after you decide that a day event went really well. Maybe the next year or something, you expand it to 2 days, or 3 days, or a week. So culture is not limited, art is not limited.
Clark, is there anything? I think I heard you try to start to speak.
No, that was when I was asking about the theater.
Okay, just making sure I'm paying attention to you too, that's all.
Thank you.
Anything else from the council before we talk specifically about tabling, because I know that was something that came up a few times. I know Jaime's been really leading that initiative.
The only thing I would add and repeat is I will be at the Revere Beach Farmers Market tomorrow, and I will be at a table there, and I will have some flyers out so people come and get some flyers. I am the contact for anybody Spanish speaking, so if you do want to reach out, you can always email me as well. So I will be there tomorrow, and then on Saturday again at the Arts Festival. I won't have a table, but I'll be around. So if anybody sees me, come say hi and ask questions. That's what we're here for.
Okay, so tabling, scheduling we have for the farmer's market for tomorrow. Is that the last day of the farmer's market? Pardon my ignorance. No, we have what? It goes to the end of the month, right? Right.
That is correct.
And
yeah.
we have people, you'll be there every week, or?
I'm going to be there tomorrow, and I will also be there on the 26th.
So 2 opportunities, friends, to come out and see us live, on top of being able to reach out to us virtually. We discussed the plan to get out. We reviewed the events that we have attended. We reviewed tabling. Any new business from the council?
We do have another event coming up in Revere, which is the Porch Fest. It's the second annual Porch Fest. And there is entertainment, there are musicians, but any musicians who come to that event, please introduce yourself, because we are looking into just getting new venues and to keep you in our communities and embrace you as musicians in our community.
I'm just looking at a couple of the events. I'm on the calendar right now. Barktoberfest is October 11th. I'm looking at in October. I wish I had a dog that would get along with other dogs, but that's not something I have. The Pumpkin Dash, which I've lost for the last 3 years. I'm sure I'll lose again, but that's after the deadlines. I think it's one thing I want to just hammer home to everybody. The deadline is October 16th. That is a hard deadline. That is not our deadline. That is the Mass Cultural Council deadline. That will give us enough time to review the applications thoroughly, and then make the best decisions we can with the funds that we have. At this time, I don't have an exact total that I can share with everybody, but that shouldn't sway you from requesting whatever the amount is that you are interested in potentially funding your projects. One thing that I do want to say out there, this is really more for all your benefit, really not so much for all of us, is that when you are submitting your grant application, please, 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 more information is better. More detail is better than not enough detail. We do reserve the right to reach out and ask for more detail before we make a decision. That will be something that we do post-application closing on October 16th. It is imperative, and we will publish the meetings. We do have potentially a couple of conflicts with members of the council for being transparent in terms of the dates that we have meetings, but the meetings post-October 16th are really critical. You know, so the one that we post in November, where we're gonna be discussing the applications as a group, what we're gonna do, and we've discussed, so I'm saying it out public because it's an open meeting, is that we're going to independently review the applications on our own. And when we come to the November meeting, that's when we're gonna determine which projects we deem moving forward with. So if you have a project that you really are passionate about and you want to attend, Debbie, keep me honest here, what is the November meeting date? Hold please, your call is important to us as well. While Debbie is looking at that, and I should know these dates, but that goes to tell you what my mind is doing out there. That November meeting really, friends, is critical, right? So if you have a project and you really, really, really wanna make a play for it, that would be the time to come in here, address us. So if we have questions that are not evident on the documentation that you provide, we can make that decision then. There will be a two-step process within that. There will be, we'll determine which projects we want to move forward with, and then we will determine the monetary value of that at our meeting in December. Any project that is declined does receive a written notification of that, and you are allowed to, and I'm not sure what the exact timing is it 15 days? You can message back or challenge, I don't know what the proper term is, forgive me, everyone.
You can appeal.
Appeal, like challenge, like Rocky. People out there are like, who's this fool up here on this chair, right? So remember, this is only my third time doing this, that you can appeal anything that is determined. And again, we're human beings. We're making a decision based on the information in front of us. Any member of the council that has a direct connection with somebody that submits a proposal will excuse themselves from the deliberation of that particular project. So just as a heads up, keep that in mind. So what is the date?
November 13th.
November 13th, friends. We will publicize that all over social media. That will be the meeting, November 13th at 6 p.m. right here in council chambers. If you submit a project, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to be here so that if something comes up when it comes up, and if we vote no because you sent us a 2-sentence proposal, that would be the time to talk to us, and that would help us be able to give you the direction so we could reconsider that. But it will take place in 2 parts, as we mentioned. I want to hammer home again, because I got a couple of questions about this. We are a reimbursement council. What does that mean? Well, it means that you complete your project, you fund it, you submit us the appropriate documentation showing that you paid it, and then we reimburse you for those funds. So that's something that you would have to consider as well when you are planning your project, is that you would have to front the money at the beginning, and then we would reimburse you at the time. And we'll go over that process in detail, so please don't think I don't think it's really that challenging. It's really just filling out some forms. Any other members of the council want to add anything in terms of the overall process and the care that we're going to take with those grant applications when we receive them?
I have a question.
Yes.
Robbie, when you said that we are a reimbursement council, when I was doing that training thing, they talked about some projects are actually funded up front, but we're strictly reimbursement?
We are, and that's something that as a council, we can discuss for the next cycle
Okay.
about how we want to move forward, but that's how we are set up currently. And I think
Okay.
team, virtual audience out there, because we have, nobody in front of us. What our goals were as a council when we formed. This is a newer group, right? Joe and I have been here for a little bit. Heine, Lark, and Debbie are new to the council. Our priority this season, or this cycle, was to come together, do some things differently than we've done in the past, which we've done already, so check gold star for us there. And then go through this cycle as a team, and then really plan and look at everything again for 2027 and beyond. And one of the pieces that we'll be looking for from the community is gathering more community input from y'all out there. Like, which priorities and guidelines should we have? We sort of looked at what we had from the last couple of years and we adjusted them a tad. So if you have questions on, what are we gonna be looking at from a rubric perspective for the projects, the guidelines and priorities that are available, and I will link it again on the Instagram page, on the link tree, that's what we're gonna be looking at. So again, those guidelines will list, like, we are looking primarily, I can rattle off a couple of them, there are quite a few. We're looking at projects that benefit the youth or underserved communities. We're looking for diversity within our project, our grant applications. We're also looking at first-time grant applicants as well. That's something that we wanna make sure that we're taking into consideration. And when you're applying, please, if you're asking for, $100,000 and you submit very little, then you shouldn't expect us to be like, yeah, here we go. First of all, we might not even have that much money to give out. So whatever you submit may not be the total dollar amount that you receive afterwards, but there's no harm in asking us and we are prioritizing Revere residents or projects that are happening in Revere. So anything that does, if you don't meet one of those two criterias, then I would strongly encourage you to look at cultural councils in places that you do meet that criteria, because others may not have that as a response.
The only thing I'd like to add is that if it can be done there, sometimes it can be done here.
Mhm.
Our diversity is just as great as in other communities. Some of the arts organizations send out multiple kind of proposals to different communities.
Oh, Joe, your
Oop.
mic's on. There you go.
Sorry. Like I said, if it happens there, it can happen here. If you see something out there that you liked, that in another town or city, it's a possibility that we could put it on here. Some of our demographics are the same as other towns and cities. So it's possible to present a program at multiple places if you have the same demographic. And depending on what the funding is, depending on how many proposals come in.
We would really love to see as many proposals as possible. I am encouraged by the number that we have currently submitted. I think the council is as well, but we have until October 16th. And again, we will not be reviewing or making decisions prior to the close of that date, to be fair and equitable and not form any biases ahead of time.
The only thing I would like to add, just going back to the cycle, just remember that everything is located on the Mass Cultural Council website as far as the grant cycle dates. I know we mentioned the voting meetings; those happen in November and December. And immediately after the voting meetings, if there's any denial, the process is to put those denials in the system, so you will be notified as soon as possible, and then you go into a 15-day reconsideration period. So you can. You will be reconsidered, or what we call it, appeal. So just know that you can send in a reconsideration period. You can send that and send further information. And then the last day for us to put in any denials is December 31st. So that gives you that 15-day for us to submit the final report on January 16th. But then again, this is all on the Mass Cultural Council website, and there's also videos on the process and the grant cycle and all that. So there's a lot of information for you to go, be able to go over and get clarification. And obviously, you can always reach out to us as well.
And the best publicity is the word of mouth. So maybe you don't have a grant, but you know other artists that are in hiding somewhere that would like to grant. I know myself that I know a muralist that he said, how do I start out as a muralist in communities? I said, well, you have to apply to one of the cultural committees to paint that mural. So tell your artist friends that this exists. Help us out and attend events.
That's a great point, Joe. One thing that I do want to bring up to the council that I'm going to share with everybody, one of the resources that is available through the toolkit is a sample score sheet for evaluating grants. So council members, I will share that via email to everybody so that we can take a look at it and provide feedback so that we can come up with a consistent metric or rubric for ourselves that we can use that's pretty transparent, and then we can go over that the next meeting. It's a simple scoring sheet, so I will share that with the members of the council, and then we can talk about it at the next meeting, and then agree that this is what we're gonna look at for the voting meetings.
I agree. And then to focus people out there, just make sure that you submit and look at the priorities that we're looking for, because more than likely, that's what we'll be scoring on in those specific forms. So just put it out there.
And I'm looking at my phone, friends, not because I'm taking a text message. I just want to verify what links I have on the link tree. Hold, please. Your call is important to us. For those of you that don't know what Linktree is, you're all like, what's Linktree? It's like having your own website right there on Instagram. So if you go to our Instagram page and click on the Linktree, there are 3 links that are available to all of you. There's the Mass Cultural Council home. You've heard us talk about the toolkits and the resources. So it'll link, I don't have anything bad on my phone, so you'll see that. The other one is the grant application link is the second one. And then the Revere Cultural Council, our own page that has our guidelines and priorities is listed there, as well as the contact information. So this is a great resource for those of you that may not like Instagram, would prefer email or a conversation. Email me, rgraziano@revere.org. If you are somebody that prefers to communicate in Spanish, it's Jim is, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, I'm gonna tag you in there.
Mine is J. Jimenez
See exactly,
at revere.org.
right? We're all friends.
We are, absolutely.
Lark did ask me about an email account. Joe, I have an email out to just so I'm being transparent with all of you, because while we're going through this from a council perspective. So when I hear back, I'll loop the 2 of you back in if you want to have a Revere email address, but I think it's just cleaner for us to do that. The other thing I want to make mention, it's nothing out there for everyone out there, but the September 30th is the Boards and Commission event reception here in council chambers. Please RSVP. I believe I shared the email address. I think Steve also forwarded us to as well. It would be a great time for us to come, spend some time with the mayor and other individuals, and just get to know other people. And that is a great way for us to promote as well, because grant applications will still be open at that time. Any other new business? We're getting off the hook early now, friends. We will not be in November and December. We're saving all that energy and time. But again, before we get, or I ask for a motion to close the meeting, I just want to, again, remind you all of that date in November, November 13th. It'll be 6 p.m. here in council chambers. That is the date where we will vote on the grant applications that we've received, not from a monetary perspective, but on projects that we are interested in moving forward to funding. As Jaime has mentioned, that anyone that does not meet or does not get accepted into the next round will have a 15-day opportunity to appeal the decision and provide more, because honestly, friends, it's probably gonna be that there wasn't enough information, right? I mean, it's, and to be fair, we can't give we don't have it is not a never-ending pile of money. So we are gonna have to make decisions, but the more applications we have, the harder you'll make our job, and I love tough challenges. I don't know about the rest of all of you. So, if there's nothing else, I'm looking for a motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to close.
Okay, behind me was like, boom. Can I get a second?
Okay.
Lark has seconded from virtually. All in favor?
Here.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned at 6:29 PM.